Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope all of you are doing well. A hearty welcome to today's English class. Today we are going to learn the new poem from the Beehive on killing a tree. It is written by Jeev Patel, a poet and a playwright who was born in Mumbai in 1940. He is a practicing doctor and a surgeon. The poet considers the tree as a living organism. According to the poet, it has the right to live like any other creatures, but the man is killing it with utmost cruelty. Trees are our lifeline, so they must not be killed. The person shall be a murderer if he kills it in the way the poet explains. So students, take the textbook, page number 110 on killing a tree. You must have observed people cutting down trees, but can they kill a tree? Is it easy to do so? Let's read the poem and find out what the poet says on killing a tree. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of his leprous hide sprouting leaves. The first stanza, the poet says that a simple cut does not destroy a tree. A tree grows gradually. It is rooted in the soil. A plant takes nutrition from the soil to grow into a big tree. The tree is firmly bound with the soil. It takes in sunlight, water, and air to grow into a strong trunk and have numerous leaves. In the second stanza, so hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which, if unchecked, will expand again to former size. In the second stanza, the poet says that humans cut and chop the bark of trees into many pieces. But that is not sufficient to destroy the tree. By cutting the branches and cutting cutting the trunk, it will not be destroyed completely. The part of the tree which gets cut gives out sap. Sap is a liquid that is produced from the trunk of the tree. So that sap, just like a human being bleeds, is compared to the human. When the human beings are hurt or cut, or any cut on the body, then blood comes out, bleeds. Similarly, when we cut the trees also, a liquid comes out, a sap comes out, and it is compared to the bleeding blood that is coming out from a human body when it is injured or hurt. Gradually this would heal, and from there new branches start growing again. So where this the cut gives out sap, it is from there it will be healed, that cut will be healed, and from there new branches will start growing again. Third stanza, no, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped, tied and pulled out, strapped out, or pulled out entirely out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the soles white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. In the third stanza, the poet says that in order to kill the tree, it has to be uprooted. Simply cutting the trunk and falling the tree, it will not die, but we have to uproot it. One has to separate the tree from the earth which supports it, because it is deeply rooted under the earth, so it has to be uprooted. The roots of the tree bind the tree with the soil in the pit of the earth. So this pit of the earth is said as a cave, earth cave. From there, the most sensitive and hidden part of the tree, the roots have to be detached. Here exposed means when we uproot the tree, the strength of the tree is its roots. So that is the source. So when we uproot it, it is white in color. The root is white in color and they are damp or wet. So from there, the most sensitive, and it is considered as the most sensitive and hidden part of the tree. So this root has to be detached from the earth. The roots are white in color and they are damp or wet. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. Then it is done means then it is killed. So here the poet uses the term killed. On killing a tree is the title of the poem. So it is considered as a human being. The tree is considered as a living organism. That's why instead of cutting a tree, he says that killing a tree. Also he says that cutting is different from killing. Cutting means if we cut the tree again, it will grow up from the sap that is coming out. It can form or give birth to a new branches, and sometimes it grows and become as a tree of a former size. So once the tree has been uprooted, gradually it withers, slowly started drying up with the action of the heat and wind. The trunk will become brown, it will twist and will harden. So finally the tree will die. So the poet says that at last the poet conveys that if the tree is killed, it must be uprooted completely. So trees are something pious and like human beings. So they must not be cut. Trees are our best friends. That is what the poet wants to say. So students, let us look at the poetic devices that are used in the poem. It has no rhyme scheme. Therefore, it is called free verse. Then there is one alliteration in it. Second stanza, fourth line, bleeding bark, alliteration. B is repeated, bleeding bark. Then one more is there, that is leprous hide. Leprous hide, it is compared to the metaphor. That is a metaphor. The bark of the tree is compared to leprous leprosy, leprous hide. Also, one more indirect comparison is there, bleeding bark. So, the liquid that comes out from the bark of the tree is compared to the blood that is coming out from the human body when it gets hurt. Then, in the third stanza, fifth line, pulled out is repeated. Fifth line and sixth line pulled out. So one repetition is also there. So these are the poetic devices that are used in the poem. So students, read the poem, write down the meanings that are given in the poem and write the question answers. So students, thank you. Have a nice day.